My business is partnerships and alliances. The client that has been consuming the bulk of my time is called the Lonely Entrepreneur. The Lonely Entrepreneur provides knowledge, tools, and support for aspiring entrepreneurs between a startup to perhaps 15 people, from zero money to getting to the point where they're in an A round. The reason I wanted to present the Black Entrepreneur Initiative, which has been a thrust of this organization since the George Floyd murder a year ago, is because I want to let everybody know at Trusted Referral Network that we have a very, very generous referral commission, a very generous referral policy. As head of partnerships and alliances, as a consultant, but in that role, I'm empowered to enter into agreements with anyone who thinks they can help this initiative. We also do what you're about to see for the Hispanic community, for women, for Asian, for Latinx. I said that, Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, LGBTQ, Native Americans, or any multicultural mix, like Carver Bank, which asked us to do a multicultural initiative rather than just Black, which was really a surprising thing since they're America's Black bank, or New York's Black bank, excuse me. All right, I'm running a little late because I didn't start my clock, but here we go. I just want to run first a short 2-minute video, which will explain everything. I did a video the last time.
Yep. The Black Entrepreneur Initiative. Leaders across the nation have partnered with the Lonely Entrepreneur to empower 100,000 Black entrepreneurs. In this initiative, Black entrepreneurs will have access to the Lonely Entrepreneur Learning Community, a one-stop shop for the knowledge, tools, and support Black entrepreneurs need. The learning community addresses both the issues Black entrepreneurs face and the issues all entrepreneurs face. We do this by providing Black entrepreneurs with lots of ways to get the answers they need to succeed. This includes 350 learning modules on the business and personal issues Black entrepreneurs face, an online community to guide aspiring Black entrepreneurs, weekly group coaching from a network of business leaders, hundreds of templates ranging from business plans to legal agreements, and reviews of the services every Black entrepreneur needs. With the learning community by their side, every Black entrepreneur has the opportunity to succeed. We can't fix social justice overnight, but with your help, we can empower 100,000 Black entrepreneurs tomorrow. Join us.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. We got it.
All right. So to get out of this, I want to show you a few things about this particular property. I should have done this on a bigger screen.
That's all right. It's pretty big.
Okay. So if you go to the Lonely Entrepreneur, this is what you're going to find. And actually, you'd be interested to know that if you were an individual, it would be $99 a month. But that's not our go-to-market strategy. Our go-to-market strategy is to work with philanthropies, banks, CDFIs, community development investment funds, all kinds of different organizations that are across the spectrum of corporate social responsibility, from academic institutions, and as I said, philanthropies, foundations, corporate America, even the government, and I'll show you some governmental programs as well. We don't charge $99 a month. We charge between $250 and $100 based on how many entrepreneurs you want in the program. So this is
per year, correct?
That's a year, right? That's per year. So here's an example of what the Black Entrepreneur Initiative looks like. It's a little different. What you saw were originally the templates for the Lonely Entrepreneur. We've since made this pretty. But there are some things in here that are specifically for Black entrepreneurs, like okay, for any minority, this makes sense. How to become a certified minority-owned company. But also the history of Black entrepreneurship, which is extremely important to entrepreneurs to know that there have been a real robust entrepreneurial community, particularly in the arts and many other industries and business that even private equity. I mean, Robert Smith is the founder of Vista Equity Partners. And it's important for them to know that they're in a group of people who have been successful. A capital for Black entrepreneurs is very important. And then at the bottom, we have tools you need. And the Entrepreneur Survival Guide, which we developed last year because of the COVID economic calamity. If you talk about any one of these types of things like generating revenue, what we do is we have these modules, which you saw in the video. What is selling? Some of these people need to know certain things. It is more of a sidekick. It is not a course. This is available annually, and it can take somebody through all the types of activities that would take place. There's also usually some kind of video that's involved here. So I'm not going to play it because it's going to take too much of our time with 8 minutes and 40 seconds, but every one of the modules is supported by some form of video. Okay, this is the importance of setting sales goals. We go back to generating revenue. We go back to the Entrepreneur Initiative. Raising money might be another good one. Okay, so different sources of money, etc. So I think you get the general idea from the video in this that there's a tremendous amount of modules and information. But what I also want you to know is that we have a community. And in this community, this is how the entrepreneurs can speak with each other. All right. So if they have a question and they want to put it out to the community, more or less like how Apple answers your questions, you know. We also have, and it's a very robust community. We have about 62,000 entrepreneurs on the platform, about probably approaching 5,000 Black entrepreneurs, and they can communicate with anybody. We also have group coaching events. So here's an example of upcoming events. And these are done like this Zoom call, only with many, many more windows open. And we do them constantly. And then you can always go back and view a recording. So here's an example of upcoming events I just went to. We talked about municipal programs. Here's a good example of one that I want to show you. Let me just get it up. It shouldn't have gone down, but it did. Hold on a second. I guess I closed my mail so it wouldn't ping everybody. And if you bear with me 1 second. We've done programs with the Richard Petty Motorsports. Here's one that really illustrates
this. The initiative is about giving back to the community.
By giving people the online resources they need to be better business owners through the Lonely Entrepreneur Learning Community, Sean McIntosh co-founded the GNV Entrepreneurship Initiative.
We seek larger companies who will step up and say, we know that this is a changing environment, a changing economy, and more so than ever, small companies are going to be relied on. People coming out of a pandemic, a lot of the jobs that were out there for individuals, quite frankly, won't be there. And that's something that we all will have to face. And many people will reinvent themselves as entrepreneurs.
The pandemic gave the mother-daughter owners of Elegant Couture, Inc. a way to reinvent their business.
Facebook Lives to where you can shop with us virtually.
The program is also meant to connect the small business community and in turn, inspire others.
I've always said a wise man seeketh counsel, and that's what I would suggest to any young person or any person who's interested in becoming an entrepreneur, to seek guidance and don't give up. Don't get discouraged. because you will have bumps in the road.
Business owner Keisha MacArthur started Diva Couture Boutique in 2012 online, and last year expanded to a storefront location.
For me, it was important for me to take my back to give back.
Born and raised in Southeast Gainesville, MacArthur says improving her business through the program is not about profit, but about setting a positive example.
Hopefully, as my business grows, to create jobs for other individuals in the community. Looking at you, who you're inspiring, and I'm just.
So you're at 4.5 minutes left, Scott.
All right.
So you can go to question and answer or continue.
I'll just quickly tell you that we're also supported by a luminary group of ambassadors, from Lanier Richardson, who was Cory Booker's economic advisor during his presidential campaign and runs an accelerator in the urban entrepreneurship program at Rutgers. Eric B. on the other end, a hip hop legend. Kathleen Triggs, who was a WOR anchor and has been an actress on various shows, TV shows. Ken Kelly, the CEO of First Independence Bank and a governor on the Fed. Ebony Young is now our president. Dale Moss is with the former NFL. Willie Ribbs broke the color line in NASCAR and IndyCar before that. Dr. Tanya Matthews just became the CEO of the African American Museum in Charleston, South Carolina, and was formerly the vice provost of Wayne State, and so on and so forth. These are very prominent people in the Black community. They all bring something different. We also have people from the Hispanic community. Lisa Welbrock runs a program in New Jersey for women. We do a program with, I just brought in Edward Lewis. His picture's not here, but it will be. And Edward Lewis is the co-founder of Essence Magazine. So we have about 60 entrepreneurs across the, Black ambassadors, excuse me. Most of them have some entrepreneur experience or have taught it or are involved in the economy or economics in some way. Diane Canada, one of our ambassadors, put together a Nashville program in Tennessee. We've got programs in Houston, Texas. We've got programs in South Florida and again, across the country. I'm happy to take questions.
So you did mention the referral program. Can you describe, what a typical deal is and what a referral fee is?
Okay, we did a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, and it was a small deal. And we've done deals with the Charlotte Hornets. We've done deal with Richard Petty Motorsports, with Lakewood Church, which is Joel Osteen's church in Houston. All of these provided, excuse me, I closed this chat. All these have provided, I think what we can do is go back to the, I'm just giving you an example. I just signed confidentially, and I'm telling you today because I know the contract's coming from the lawyers, one of the largest companies in the country, UPS. And that one is a pilot program for supplier diversity. So we do programs to educate entrepreneurs, from small business owners in any cultural avenue. We do programs that are in supplier diversity and even corporate sponsorship. That this could be a redeemer. I'm talking to Ford about a program that's experiential, where the redeemer is actually this platform. Spin and win and get a subscription to, right? So the referral program is very lucrative. If you just open the door and we go in and do all the work, it's 10%. If you want to get more involved in the pool with me, I have to talk to the CEO about that. I am running a team right now, and I don't know how many more bench seats we have. But if you really want to dive in head first, we do 20%. So an example on one end of the spectrum, our Fort Bend deal in Texas was 10,000 entrepreneurs for $100 an entrepreneur. That's $1 million. Your commission is $200,000 if you do that deal. Now you know why I'm doing this. I didn't do that deal. I think UPS could turn out to be something on that scale, but it's step by step. If you do the referral, and let's say you did a deal with the Charlotte Hornets and it was only $25,000, you'd be making $2,500 just for saying, hey, Scott, call Johnny Jones. So you know, you might want to be in the first call and see that everything's going all right, but you want to walk away and say, I've done my thing. I just know this guy would be interested. So that's really it. I mean, if we have time for questions, more than that.
Yeah, we could do one more question, since I don't want to be the only one asking a question, if there is a question.
Well, I want everybody to know that Scott at langmarketing.net, I put it into the chat a few times, I'll do it again, is the best way to reach me. It's my private email. It's not the Lonely Entrepreneur email I use. Some of you already have it, and some of you already know that I work on other projects because I've talked to you about them. But this one here I thought would really be appropriate for the Trusted Referral Network, because that's what we're doing here. We're trusting you to refer.
Very cool.
We'll take the referrals and pay 10%. And
Or
if I
10%.
got to pay the house something, Michael, we'll pay that.
I don't trust anything Scott says. Sorry.
Michael.
Now the other Michael. Yeah. So yeah, I don't take any cut of that. At least not
Michael's
yet.
Gonna kill it.
So that's great. Thank you so much, Scott. Any other questions? We'll take one more if there is one. Sounds quiet. Okay. So we got a nice crowd today. We got, let's see, 3 by 5, 15 minus me, which is so 14 people. I guess I'm in as well. And let's take it. Let's give everybody 2 minutes. That should give us enough time, and we'll do it in this order. I'm going to put in the order in which people showed up.
I was first, just so you know.
What's that? Yeah, Andrew Deutsch, Bryce Wade, Faith Tomasis, and you could see, everybody should see that in the, so you could take a look at the chat. I'm going to switch to speaker view, so when I record, you'll be on the big screen, so to speak. And everybody should go on mute, except for the person who's speaking, so it doesn't switch automatically. So Andrew Deutsch, I will give you 2 minutes. If you want to also, today's challenge is something you've done recently for the first time. So think about something you've done for the first time and what made you do it. But go ahead, Andrew.
I'll start with something I did for the first time, show up for one of your meetings.
There you go.
Yeah, Fangle Group is a strategy-first global marketing and sales consultancy, not an agency. Our business is both here and in the 120 countries where we have affiliations, helping companies get back to truly who their customer is, how they differentiate as a supplier in ways that matters to that customer, and also speaks to them in a way that bests all competition. So at the core, what we do is we teach our customers how to convert every touch into voracious advocates for their brand. Then we start to talk about all the tactical tools that everybody thinks are so much fun to work with. That's really who we are as a company. We've watched small companies turn into billion-dollar companies. We've helped American companies expand into 70+ countries to sell and develop their products. And most of our client engagement, we act as the fractional chief marketing officer for those companies.
Okay. And do you want to say anything about that technology that you're teaching people how to use, or is that still part of?
Oh, I can. That was my elevator speech, in case you were wondering. We figured out a way in Zoom meetings to stop putting people to sleep, or as we say, no more creating Zoom zombies. So what you can do now, if you use the open source software we teach people how to use, in a PowerPoint meeting, you can actually remain in the meeting and talk to your customer and engage. And if they ask a question, grow back up like a big adult and actually engage and talk to your folks while you're going through and not turning them into zombies, which is kind of what happens in most of these Zoom meetings. And if you get bored and you're with good people, you can even hang out at the bar, have a drink with your friends, I don't know, play a little poker with your buddies like I do. And lots of different fun things that you can do. We're going to launch the program at a press conference soon so that people can get involved. So, some fun from the world of technology.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so Andrew is has a program to teach people how to use that technology. I don't think you sell the technology. It's open source, right?
We don't. It's open source. We have a class that people can sign up for and take. And if you don't treat people properly, we can also take care of that and have a little. Oh,
got some great dad jokes in there. Wonderful.
There's no such thing as a dad joke. That's what.
What was the name of the technology, Andrew?
It's OBS Studio. It's open source streaming software. We created a class, a video course that people can take to really learn how to make it, how to install it, make it work for them, and personalize it. The one thing the software can't do is turn a shitty speaker into a good speaker. What it will do is take a great presentation and put it over.
Are you working on that?
We are. We're working on it's called it's a spray. It's a
I took the course.
All right, let's get back so we don't lose time. So Bryce Wade, you are next.
Go back on mute.
Bryce, you're up. You still there?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me.
Go ahead. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all again. I am Bryce Wade, the Google Cowboy. This year has been a really incredible year for us so far. I did a presentation a number of months ago about Ad Cannibal, which essentially works for enterprise clients above $50,000 a month for SEM. We've had some really amazing growth with that. Due to Michael and some other connections, I've got connection. I did an introduction of the software, essentially, or the platform rather, to L'Oreal, which is basically one of the biggest spenders of SEM on the internet, which has been fantastic. Looks like we're going to do a pilot project with them. I spoke with Group M, another massive marketing company, last week, and we've got another call with them next week. So the application of this technology is really starting to take off. Connections to larger companies has really been what we've been after, and we're open to collaboration with other companies in a variety of ways. So that's been kind of our main focus for 2021. Going down the line a little bit, we're working on our back end systems because we grew a lot faster than our systems did, actually. So we brought on another technology that uses an AI to do the base level SEO that has to happen on every page 1 million times. Saves other agencies a great deal of time for not having to deploy their very expensive talent and time and resources into doing those very basic and simple changes. So that's another thing that we're going to be focused on for 2021. I'll see the rest of my time because I usually go over my time.
and there are definitely referral fees for any member in the group here who can refer business to Bryce and the Mind of a Marketer, his company, targeting companies that spend a lot of money on Google AdWords and agencies that do that kind of work and have big clients in the same realm.
Yeah,
okay.
and our payment structure is a little bit different. So normal referral fees are one time or time locked for either like a few months or a year or whatever. Ours are locked for as long as the client is a client of ours. So if you connect us with somebody that pays, you get paid forever, or as long as they pay. So, yeah.
As long as they pay. All right, cool. Okay, Faith, you are up.
Okay, am I unmuted?
You're good.
Okay, hi, I'm Faith Thomasis. My company is Thomasis & Company, and I help companies or people or organizations articulate and say what they're thinking and what they want to communicate. So I get involved with interviewing clients to see who they want to be and what they want to be and how they want to be perceived. And if they find out that they're having some kind of a communications problem, that evolves into positioning planning and brand strategy planning. And then that also evolves into then the execution of any marketing communications campaigns. And I work very closely with graphics designers, but also take charge of the words and do copywriting. And I have a very large business in name development, which is a specific niche that is a lot of fun, but hard to do. So my ideal client is either an agency that needs my expertise, but not on a full-time basis and wants to subcontract, or a small organization that is confronting communications challenges and needs an extra part of someone to think it through with them. The thing I did recently I'd never done before, and I can't believe I did it last week, was I went up in a 4-seater plane. It was fun. I was at a party where there was a retired pilot there who had reserved a plane for the next morning and had an extra seat. And I didn't have enough time to get nervous and say no. So I said yes. And it was fun. It was fun. It was a little, I got a little like nauseous. So I don't know that I would do it again, but it was an experience. So I would recommend it if you have a strong stomach.
Very good. And Faith, she's an icon in the world of business naming, as she can explain.
Yeah, for those of you in New York, there's a parking lot called Icon that is all over town, and I did that name. And the reason it was such a great name for them is that they had that icon of the orange circle with the black arrow in it. And they also had, at that time, I don't know how big they are now, 150 units. And by being only 4 words, that name fit into their existing vertical signage, which saved a tremendous amount of money that they didn't have to buy new signs. So I'm the Icon lady. And I have parked there too, and I'm very satisfied with the service.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Faith. Gary Heyman, and then Henning.
Good, really good to see everybody. Something new on the personal front. I don't know anybody during the pandemic, but started playing pickleball. That is a lot of fun. My wife's gotten into it very much as well. We even put some little court near our place. It's just good, fun, social, easy activity. So highly recommend it if you haven't played that before. And on the business front, we do a lot of business with large enterprises in the United States. And we just brought on one out of London, company British Petroleum. That was a good business for us from that standpoint. So we do enterprise SEO with artificial intelligence, and we really focus on Fortune 500 companies. Very fortunate to work with companies like Toyota. We built a lot of automation tools that let us do these things at scale for large brands, whether it's technical implementations, launch big strategies for them to kind of be the authority in their space. And then also large amounts of data-driven content. And I think one of the things that wouldn't say shift, but kind of repositioned how we're focusing on our executable model is really this simple strategy of win on the web. I mean, now you can dissect what your competitors are doing from an SEO standpoint and how you can beat them on what they're doing, take traffic for them, or create new pages to create new demand, and then kind of do those things at scale. So our fine-tuned approach with some good creative is just helping big companies win on the web in this digital kind of infrastructure. So spoken to a lot of you guys before, so it's great to see familiar faces, and yeah, try some pickleball. It's fun.
Gary's calling in from Dallas, is it, or Austin?
Yes, Dallas.
Dallas, right.
Not an East Coaster like the rest of you, or a lot of you.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Not an East Coaster like a lot of you.
Yes, there are many of us here on the East Coast. Okay. Henning Schwinnem, all the way on the West Coast.
Thank you, Michael. Unfortunately, Andrew took my first away because this is also my first meeting in this group. Very excited. I always tell people that I'm a recruiter of sorts. And it's of sorts because the executive recruiting process for a director or a VP of sales or a CRO takes 6 months. It costs $50,000 to $70,000. And if you're a scaling, recently started business, and that's the first such hire you do, that person is fired after 12 to 18 months. And then you start over again. So that's a process, to me, that's ripe for disruption, because there is most definitely someone out there who has done before what this company sets out to accomplish. And so if finding that skilled, experienced sales leader is a top priority and the urgency is there, it's the ideal time to contract an interim or fractional sales leader. They're available within a few days. They can be fractional if that's the model and you only pay for what you need. They are generally overqualified and they can transition into a permanent role if that is the desire and the strategy of the company. And so my business, Vendox, we are a matchmaker for placing seasoned sales executives on an interim or fractional basis into companies that have a need for that specific skill set. We're technology enabled and developed and launched our own proprietary matching algorithm that's based on deep semantic search and context weighted and role relevant data points. And it helps us to facilitate the process of finding the one perfect match, the one sales leader that comes in as a contractor and can make the business successful. Thank you.
Very good. And we do have a number, at least 2 or 3 people who do business development on a contract basis. So they may reach out to you. And good timing.
Do you have a particular industry that you focus on?
No, we're industry agnostic, and the 210 sales executives we have on our roster today collectively cover every single industry you can think of.
All right, thank you. David Cutler, you are up. David, are you still here?
Yeah, I am. Is that, hey, Henning, is there a rate range, or is it senior, mid-lit range that you guys are focusing on?
There is no focus. I have executives on the roster that will go to bat for less than $100 an hour, and I have others who've said, don't come to me with anything less than 600. So that is the range, and there's anything in between. And it really depends on the setting the expectation with the CEO or business owner about the skill set required, the complexity of the assignment, the length of the assignment.
It's mostly temporary, or do these things turn into gigs?
Some have converted into permanent employment. They start out temporary, or part-time, they move to full-time contract, and then to a W-2 employment.
So David, you should connect with Henning directly.
Yeah, okay. I just think that it's relevant because things are changing so much, and having the sales force is a key element to it. So thank you for the reminder, Michael. I'm going to be very high level on what I'm doing because I am a sales coach, right? So it's very relevant. I'm a sales and marketing consultant, but I focus on sales for B2B. And when you focus on sales, marketing follows right close behind. So I'm a marketing minded sales consultant, ultimately in the B2B space. A lot of technology because that's exponential these days and things are coming around fast, and having people to kind of go to market and find and validate what's going on now is really, really important and difficult. The crystal ball that we had all polished up, Christmas and a half ago was just, lost, right? We don't know where that crystal ball went. So I'm polishing that crystal ball up, or whatever the metaphor is. And I'm looking for opportunities to help salespeople suck less. And we've joked about that before because it's kind of a harsh line, but it's probably the truest thing I could say. Sales is hard. Sales is difficult. Marketing and sales don't get along as well as they should. And we all know that. And I can help bridge that gap and go to market, look for new opportunities, new veins of gold, so to speak, validate new initiatives, or go back to even existing customers and talk about what's going on with their product and service, and what do we need now in this new normal, or whatever we're even calling it now. Because one thing's for sure is nothing has happened. We knew nothing was happening for the last year. We knew that. We were uncomfortable with it, but at least we knew. Now we have no idea what's going to happen, what's not. It's really squishy and confusing. And I find myself being asked a lot of times, could you tell us what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I'll go find out, because nobody knows. And if anyone says they know what's going on, they're lying to you. And I help go find out what's going on by trying to get sales and helping your salespeople do a better job. So somewhere in there was Sales Coach 3.0. How about that for an answer?
That's a good one. Thank you so much.
All right.
I like the way you closed it out. Okay, Jason, then Rochelle. Jason Cement.
Can I share screen?
Sure.
Cool. So let me do that.
I'm going to be holding people to 2 minutes because we are getting tight on.
I'm going to go quick. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about Adricom. This is the e-commerce platform. You can see it's a full ecosystem for e-commerce. It's actually an integration of 3 things. It's e-commerce. It has content like blogs and web pages and business directories, all sorts of things you would term to be content. And we sell it as digital presence as a service. And I'm just going to show you some examples. Down here, you'll see all these integrations that we have, and we're coming up with more payment gateways, all sorts of things. But here, this is Delicious Cookies. If you're a West Coasterner, you would know who this company is because they were on Entourage, the TV show. It's very expensive cookies that people love in Hollywood. Just to show you the variety of the sites are very different. This one, if things really go to a basket in America, you want to go to DNA Tactical and get your gear, everything but the gun. So again, just for look and feel, this is a security badge company that sells printers and badge solutions to government and education. Again, completely different looking. So different than Shopify and Magento. Shopify is more cookie cutter. So here you have much more flexibility, and it doesn't have the $30,000 a year license fee that Magento has. This is, now you mentioned pickleball. So I thought he would laugh because this is one of the larger suppliers of the paddles. And I'm showing you here how you can change it has a whole builder thing to change it around for the pickleball paddles. Same thing here for bats. There's another one you can change, as you'll see. You can change the colors. So there's configurators built in, and that's just one of the features on the system. This is an older version of the back end, and you'll see that there's all sorts of things for B2B purposes in terms of you can create quantity discounts, you can have tiered pricing, you can have distributor pricing. Obviously, you can control all your different photos, variants.
All right, Jason, I got to cut you off.
That's it. But that's Wonderful. What I wanted to share today.
Thank you. Very impressive. So it's an e-commerce, very sophisticated e-commerce system that can be deployed faster than and for less money than the Magento, for example, which is one of the 800-pound gorillas. Rochelle, you're up. You're on mute, Rochelle.
Okay, I didn't want my dogs barking. Okay, it's Rochelle from Dynamic Business Growth and not Schlep Along Business Growth. And anyway, right now, businesses today are focusing on business development, or we may not be here, over the course of the next year. But here's my question: when you are presenting your business, I always ask, are you storytelling or boring telling? Did you just tell me a story that highlights your expertise, or did you blend and speak like everybody else in your industry? So creating these dynamic stories where you are the clear choice for your ideal client is where I've done some of my best work right now. What did I do recently? I think people know that I am a god-awful cook. So this week, I have 3 categories: barely edible. It's atrocious, barely edible, and then edible. And this week I actually made a zucchini lasagna that was yummy. So that was a miracle. I did it with prayer and some guidance. So that's what did I do this week that was different?
Very good. Anything else you want to add? You got another 50 seconds.
I just want, again, so I've been doing, when we talk about our companies, very often I have a lot of people that have a lot of high level skills, and they talk about what they do as the most common, ordinary, everyday individual. So what I love to do is pull out those high level skills, create this story around it so that people can honestly see what is the problem that you solve. So if we identify ourselves by our title, I am an architect. So are you an architect for a 4-family house in Brooklyn? Or do you have the skill set of like an architect that can put up the Freedom Tower? Big difference. So a lot of people have Freedom Tower's ability, but represent themselves like the Four Family House in Brooklyn. And I can tell you, not on my watch. We've really got to get your skills highlighted so people can understand what you do.
Thank you. That was a good example. Okay, David Nadell, then Rajiv.
Hey everybody, Dave Nadell here, Venture P Media. We're a digital marketing agency. As Gary said, I'm going to steal his line, but modify it slightly. Instead of helping the enterprise companies win, we help the small and medium-sized businesses win on the web with probably similar types of methodology and thinking. So I've been involved in lots of areas of digital marketing throughout the years. And, you know, initially when I was doing the consulting and agency work, it was focused on demand generation. And where I've kind of been moving the focus of my practice lately has been onto site optimization, because I find that this is an area where some of the marketers don't get involved with necessarily, especially if they didn't work on the site as web developers. And, you know, if the client is not doing their job, which is having a site that converts, then it makes it hard for marketers like us to do our jobs. So that's kind of the niche where I'm developing a practice, and why people would turn to me if they need help, you know, getting their clients' sites more effective at generating leads or sales, or, you know, any of the metrics that are important to you. That's all I got.
And something you've done for the first time?
Oh, something I've done for the first time. My friend Heather started learning American Sign Language, and I am her accountability partner, so I started learning American Sign Language. And this is lion, and this is squirrel, I think. This is snake. We did alphabet, numbers, animals, and colors so far, and it's really cool. It's really interesting how the symbols themselves, you know, resemble, you know, it's intuitive when you see them sometimes.
How do you do orange?
Orange is this, I think.
The color? Okay.
Yeah.
Not the fruit.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Thank you so much. Let's see, that would be Rajiv, then Regina, and then Andre. Rajiv, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to try and share the screen. Let me see if this works. This is a TRN exclusive. So hopefully it works. Let's see.
Rajiv is married now 2 weeks. No, not even. A week and a half.
A week.
A week.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Are you tired of standard approach? Now I'm gonna offer you something special. Bah! Puppet show! Did he say puppet show?
Yeah, why not? What better way to add a fresh breeze to your business? You know how your business trainings are normally snoozeville. Well, a puppet show could really wake up the audience. These fun, charming stories are told in such a delightful way, no one could resist smiling and feeling good.
You know, you might be onto something. That's right, people. If you are looking for a snazzy corporate video that'll make you stand out from the crowd, or a memorable gift for that special someone in your life, you found your solution.
So have you changed your business model?
No, but we do a lot of content creation as part of our reputation repair. So we've just started doing puppet videos in collaboration with the Kaninsky studio, and they're based out of Russia. And with their help, we're able to create a lot of custom storytelling using puppets, as you've seen.
Part of reputation management. I think you got to tell us more about it, but not right now because we're running out of time.
I know.
All right. Regina, and then Andre, and then Michael Filato. Regina, you still here? She may have bumped. Okay. Then we have Andre Archambault. Are you still here?
I am still here.
Go for it.
First off, thank you for always doing this. Secondly, apologies for the tardiness. I had an internal call that ran a little late and jumped on as quickly as I could about a new client, actually, touch wood. So that's a good thing. My name is Andre Archambault, as I said in the chat. I think I know about half the room here. I work for a division of the USA Today network. I am based in New York. At the end of the day, we're a digital ad agency for a range of different kinds of businesses. We were born out of the need for businesses to have a local presence 17 years ago as a company called Reach Local. And then over the last 5 years ago, we were acquired by the folks at Gannett, who own USA Today. And then we merged about 2.5 years ago with about 2.5 years ago with a company called Gatehouse Media. So now we have the presence of about 300 local papers around the country. USA Today is the beachfront property, and the digital marketing solutions of kind of a behemoth in a lot of ways. So whether it's e-commerce, Google Shopping, SEO, SEM. We were founded as an SEM play strictly, but we've really evolved over the last 3 to 5 years in particular. And I've been with the company for 11 years between Reach Local and Gannett. And there's a whole raft of things that we can do. There are really cool opportunities to partner, and would love to chat with any of you about that.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. And Andre probably works for the largest company among the members of the group, but he is an entrepreneur at heart.
Very much so.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Absolutely.
You have publisher solutions as well as agency services?
Sorry, in what way?
Selling inventory, because you're part of Gannett, right? You could sell ad inventory.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. So just to answer that really, really quickly, we do have the capability to do branded content. There are opportunities within to be able to do owned and operated inventory on our network as well.
We could talk offline.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. So Michael Filato, you're up. Also from out of the New York area in the great state of Florida.
Nope, from Chicago.
Chicago. I thought you were in Florida.
I'm in Florida, but I'm from Chicago.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So I hope, can you guys see my screen real quick?
Yep.
Yeah, so basically I run a lead gen company. So one of the first things I did that's new is start a new company in the last 6 months that's repeatable and scalable, up to 30,000 plus MRR already. So it's going really well. I've worked in the space for about 25 years as an enterprise sales director, a regional vice president, and I'm working at these startups. I've opened a door opener like at NFL's, UFC, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint. So I've had big experiences trying to make appointments for folks, either for myself or for other companies. And what I see a lot of companies doing is that they're sending out emails through HubSpot, through Peridot, through other platforms. And what they're doing is they're not using the subdomain, they're not cleaning their email, and they're basically not doing the drip marketing right, because what they're doing is they're damaging their email domain and also having a lot of bounce rates. So what I do is help them with email deliverance, and also have 200 million people in the database, and and also have a LinkedIn profile automation platform as well. So the bottom line is I produce leads for companies, and I've been doing this for 25 years, and I started my company about 5 months ago, and it's going really well. Pretty happy about it. I've known Scott Lang, that's on this call, for about 15 years when I started doing this for other companies. Now I do it for myself. That's about it.
And Scott,
Michael, do you do email marketing?
Yeah, email. Yep, right there. It's on the second bullet point. Email marketing, using a separate email server and email verification, doing a subdomain, and I also do LinkedIn And the whole idea is to drive people back to someone's calendar link to book a discovery call.
Interesting.
You guys should connect if it's of interest, Rajiv.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good timing. Okay. Could you stop the share? Wonderful. Okay. And I'm going to go back to, did I miss anybody, first of all? I think I got everybody. Jeannie's gone. Okay. I don't think I missed anybody. And by the way, Michael, when I spoke to Scott about you, he said that you could sell snow to Eskimos or fire to people in hell. I don't know.
Is the Brooklyn Bridge back to Brooklyn?
The Brooklyn Bridge. What happens to the Manhattan half? Okay.
There is Manhattan Bridge. That's from Manhattan.
That's Manhattan. I have a Zoom call with my mother who's 91 in 2 minutes, so I should go quickly. My name is Michael Bendit. It's great having you all here. You know that I founded this group, the Trusted Referral Network, but the way I make my money right now is I represent software development teams. So the teams that I work with are very focused on the technical side, which means we partner really well with creative agencies and digital marketing agencies that don't always have those programming resources in-house. A good example of why people come to me just happened just a couple days ago. I had a lead maybe a year ago or so for a Shopify site, but we didn't win it. It happens, right? Don't always win everything. But that lead came back to me because now they have got a really difficult technical problem with Shopify because it doesn't handle bundles very well. And the API doesn't really have a method to do it. And so they're stuck because they need somebody who can build something that will help create bundles and manage bundles right through the warehouse, so the warehouse picks things. Yeah, Agricom, I'm sure, could do it. Shopify, not so much. So we're working on, I have a couple of teams that have Shopify expertise. One of them is thinks they can handle it. Not going to make a lot of money on this, right? If it's a $5,000 job, I make 20%, I'll make $1,000. But it's all about building that reputation and those so that people think of me as this problem solver as I represent this breadth of capabilities. And that's about it. I am looking for obviously new members, so referrals are great. Also, if anybody is interested in starting a local chapter, we are working on this, and thanks to David, I am in the process of scoping out what that means and what a chapter would be and what a leadership role would be for somebody who wants to start a chapter. So we want to build this both nationally, but also locally with that tight-knit group that you can get from meeting people face to face. I've got to run. Glad all of you can make it.